All right, so I'm going to give you guys the instructions for the sticky tape lab. There's a lot of written words here, but there's some fine nuances of stuff I need to show you that some students don't generally look for or see. So some of the stuff I'm going to show you is what I really need to make sure you remember when you do the procedure, okay? So the directions tell you that you're going to need to have 15 centimeters of tape. I want you to see 15 centimeters is quite a long piece of tape. You really don't need that much. But the first piece of tape that I'm building right here is just going to be the base that I'm putting everything on. So if you look, this is quite about 15 centimeters. All my other pieces of tape are going to be smaller than this. All right, so that's just going to be my base. Now I want to build a piece of tape on top of that. See how I'm flipping the edge over so I have a tab to hold on to? I'm going to put this on my base. And I'm going to call this my bottom tape. So I'm using a marker and I put a B on there. So there's the B on my little tab that I made. And I have to do this one more time. Again, these are not really long pieces. I'm going to put this right on top of the bottom. There's that little tab again. And since it's on top, I'm going to label it T for top. Okay? So I got my top and I got my bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull both of these off together. All right? So what tends to happen at this point in time is when you put your finger next to the tape, it shows an attraction, and we don't want that happening right now. The directions tell you to rub the tape, and then it goes away. Notice it did not go away. So this is the only thing I found that works. Don't ask me how I figured this out, but this is what works. Take the non-sticky side and rub it on your lips. Notice how it's not sticking to my finger anymore? See? Not attracted. Yeah, that's a stupid thing you have to do is you just rub it on your lips. So somebody in your group has to do that job. So now I'm going to take the top and the bottom and I want to separate them from each other, and when I do this, I need to make sure they don't stick to me or anything else. Okay? This is another reason why I don't want it really long. So now I'm going to put one of them on my meter stick up here and the other one on my meter stick. Notice how the T is labeled top, the B is labeled bottom. I also have a piece of paper hanging and a piece of foil hanging. I also have a second piece of paper and a second piece of foil that I'm going to run experiments with. So I need another top and bottom. So I have to run this all over again on my base piece of tape. Building another bottom piece. Oops, that got all wrinkled. Make sure you label it bottom. And another top. Take both of them off together. See, I have both of them. Pull them off together. Notice again, it's sticky. It tries to attach to my finger. So I'm going to do this thing again. And I do this. Notice how it doesn't come to my finger anymore. Right? And now I'm going to pull them apart and keep them separate from one another. It's at this time that I'm going to start running the experiment. Okay? So the experiment is going to be collected on the back side of the lab. We're going to take the top piece of tape, which I have right here, and I'm going to put it next to the other top, and I want to see what happens. Notice I try to put the non-sticky side towards the non-sticky side. I want to see what happens. And I'm going to write down here, is it going to attract or repel, or does nothing happen? I want to do that with the bottom, right? I want to do that with the foil, and I want to do that with the paper. I'm going to look for subtle changes. I'm going to look for big changes, and I don't want anything to touch. So I'm going to do the top like I just made here. Then I'll do that with the bottom on all of these. Then I'll take my extra piece of paper that I have and my extra foil. And then the last thing you're going to do is use a plastic rod that you're going to rub with some fur, and you're going to see how that plastic rod behaves. For the other, don't worry about it. We're not doing another. So that's our lab today. Thank you.